From the Weather NorCal Command Center, this is your morning update.
Your weekend weather update is made possible by Caltrans District 2.
Dennis's Heating and Air Conditioning is Northern California's premier heating and air conditioning contractor. From residential housing, large commercial projects, installation to repair, sheet metal fabrication, and everything in between, we are your go-to heating and air conditioning specialist.
Well, happy Mother's Day morning to you. I'm Chief Meteorologist Mike Krueger in for Chase Wilson this morning. I do want to remind you, you got one more day for that ticket giveaway. If you haven't done so already, you can email your entries to mkrueger@weathernorcal.com or just go to weathernorcal.com, click on contact, fill out the form, give me your name. That's all you need. Let me know it's for the rodeo tickets, and you are good to go. So good luck to you. We'll be giving those tickets away tomorrow morning on Coffee with Krueger. Tomorrow morning, right here on Weather NorCal at 6:30 in the morning. Okay, so we got this cooling trend. I've been talking about it. It's going to start today, and it's going to be really pleasant. I mean, just a beautiful day for your Mother's Day for most of us. Should be dry with the exception for parts of the coast. And then the winds are picking up, though. Not so bad this morning, but progressively getting a little bit stronger as we go through the morning and afternoon hours. And then probably still pretty strong for your Monday, but I think the winds will be strongest today. Much cooler as we go into your Monday with showers, possible thunderstorms, and at least for this time of the year, fairly low snow levels, which we'll get into that here in a little bit here. A gradual warming trend, though, after that as we go through next week. Before we get into all of that, here's a quick look at your Mother's Day forecast as you're heading out the door this morning. Maybe a last-minute gift for your mothers. But there you go. We've got those temperatures generally in the 40s for some of the higher elevations, even some low 50s in there. And for the valley, we'll call it partly cloudy with temperatures in the low 60s. So what we've got here is, you can see right here, just a swirling area of low pressure. These are the clouds, by the way, that were kind of hovering off toward the west of us all day yesterday, finally pushed on through last night. That's off to the east. But now we've got the main area of low pressure that will be impacting our weather in the form of rain and snow. That's going to be pushing through and at least approaching throughout the day today. And eventually some of us, like I say, parts of the coast will see some showers today. So for your Sunday morning brunches with Mother, I think you're going to be okay. But by the afternoon, all right, we go to about 3, 4, 5 in the afternoon, we start to see this first band of showers push through. There may be a couple of sprinkles that may make their way into parts of Siskiyou County, but I think really the bulk of it will be starting off in Del Norte County, working its way southward through the afternoon into the evening for places like Humboldt County. Then that slowly progresses eastward for tonight, and you can see some rain entering central western Siskiyou County, some sprinkles, light showers for Trinity County, but still dry even at 10 o'clock tonight here for the valley eastward. But that changes by the time we go into tomorrow. We do want to mention there's a wind advisory basically through the day today into tonight. For the valley, it's until 1 a.m. Tomorrow morning, and then for Lassen, Plumas, and even eastern Modoc County here, this is from 11 a.m. today until 11 p.m. tonight. Again, it's basically today. That's when the winds will be strongest. I am expecting those gusts upwards of 40 to even 50 miles per hour. Maybe strong enough for a power outage or two. We'll see. But you can see here as we go through the morning hours, see how the winds progressively get stronger through the day, really across the board. I think the strongest winds will be in the valley, eastern mountains, where we have the advisories. We don't have any advisories, but still a little gusty out towards Siskiyou County. No advisories for the coast, but you're talking 20, 30, even 35 miles per hour there as well. So you're borderline getting into that wind advisory category there. But then the wind should start to die down, but still gusty at times, even for your Monday. So look at the temperatures, all right? Instead of those low 90s we've been experiencing, how about low 80s? So about a 10-degree drop. Temperatures in the 60s, some 70s for some of the warmer spots for the higher elevations. And I do expect those temperatures somewhere in the mid-50s for your daytime highs for your Mother's Day. All right, so here is a look at your 7-day forecast. Let's start off with Redding and Red Bluff and Chico, of course, the valley typically, right? So we're going to be dry today, but by tomorrow, you've got showers, you've got thunderstorms in the forecast, and the temperature is just kind of gradually increasing for Tuesday all the way through the end of next week. You see it kind of peaks a little bit on Friday, then we see another dip going into Saturday because, yes, we've got some cooler air that's going to be coming in that could drop our temperature slightly, right? We take a look at the coast, inland, and for Trinity County. There's the showers and thunderstorms for your Monday. Look at that, I put snow levels in there. Snow levels, yes, they could drop down to as low as 4,000 feet out in Trinity County. Now, as far as the coast is concerned for showers, it's going to be in the mid-afternoon. We start to see showers for Del Norte County. But then the inland areas eventually in the evening and overnight, and then overnight into, looks like tomorrow, right, for Trinity County. Then it dries out for Tuesday through Friday. Maybe another chance for showers by next weekend. We take a look at Siskiyou, Modoc County, Eastern Mountains. You're dry today. Showers, thunderstorms tomorrow. And then as we go into your Tuesday, we still have a chance for a lingering shower here and there. Dry for Wednesday through Friday. And yeah, as I mentioned, maybe another chance for showers by next weekend. All right, that's a look at Krueger's Quickcast. Hope you have a great Mother's Day. Stick around for a deeper dive forecast for those of you that like that fun and good details that go into the forecast. Before we do that, though, hey, great place to start for just checking your daily forecast here is from the app, because it's got everything you need. You like watching this video forecast? You can do it from the app. You like checking out the neighborhood forecast? Right from the app. How about current conditions, radar, even special programming like Ag Report, Turtle Bay Wonderful World of Animals? You can watch it right here from the app. Go to your app store, search for Weather NorCal, and download the app for free. All right, so this is the area of low pressure that's going to be impacting our weather over the next couple of days. This will be the source for some of those stronger winds that we'll see here later this afternoon, and eventually the showers and thunderstorms entering the picture as well. Looking at the severe outlook for tomorrow, not today, but tomorrow, areas of green have the best chance for thunderstorms. Not necessarily anything severe, but this is going to be the areas that have the ingredients for best chances. That may linger on into Tuesday, off to the east here with the better chances for showers and thunderstorms there. So let's walk you through all of this, the timing. Today, Mother's Day, this morning, I think everyone will be dry through midday. You'll still see some clouds, a little cool for parts of the coast, maybe some high clouds passing through the valley, and then some high clouds off to the east, but you'll notice it is dry. By 3 o'clock in the afternoon, we're beginning to see places like Smith River, maybe around Crescent City, out towards Gas Key, right? You're seeing that potential of seeing some of those showers. So it's mainly going to be 199 and right mainly north of Crescent City where we're seeing the bulk of the rain. Brookings, for example, seeing some of that too. But elsewhere down to the south, it's dry. But then through the afternoon into the evening, that will push southward. Garberville, all of Humboldt County seeing the chances for showers, but still fairly dry for western Siskiyou, Trinity County, and off to the east. We go into the overnight hours tonight. Tonight at 10 o'clock, now we're seeing it pushing through Trinity County, central western Siskiyou County, Del Norte, Humboldt, but fairly dry east of that for the valley into the eastern mountains in Modoc County. Now tomorrow morning, 8 a.m., now it's pushing through, and you see a bit of that spin in the atmosphere. That's the area of low pressure that we saw, that spin that's over the eastern Pacific right now. So we're not going to be looking at widespread all-day rain. It's going to be off and on showers and potential for thunderstorms. And some of these thunderstorms have the potential to produce heavy rainfall, gusty winds, maybe some small hail, and frequent lightning. So that's something we'll have to watch. And yeah, that's snow that we're seeing here. And, snow levels, by Monday morning, I don't think Mount Shasta City per se will see snow, but some of the higher elevations near Mount Shasta, 4,000 feet, 4,500 feet, I think you may see some of that snow. I think the roads may still be just a little too warm for it to accumulate for a lot of chain requirements, but as you go above 5,000 to 6,000 feet, there is that potential. So for example, Scott Mountain on Highway 3 could see some snow accumulating even on the road there. But there you can see midday on Monday, scattered showers and thunderstorms across the board, valley, mountains, coast, all experiencing the potential for rumbles of thunder. 3 p.m. on Monday. Scattered showers and thunderstorms. We're beginning to kind of get in the backside of the storm as we get into Monday, 3 p.m. for the coast, so chances start to diminish, but still a few sprinkles here and there. 6 p.m. on Monday, we're still seeing those showers and thunderstorms, but now they're starting to even push east of the valley at this point. But I'd say even through the afternoon, early evening, chance for showers and thunderstorms in the valley as well. And again, as I mentioned, heavy rainfall, gusty winds, hail, lightning. That's all the potential with these thunderstorms as they push through. And there you can see all this snow. There may be some chain requirements in the highest mountain passes, 5,000 to 6,000 feet and higher. Okay, so just be aware of that. If you're heading down to Tahoe region, for example, that may be an issue. Okay, so 10 o'clock on Monday, there you can see the activity is now mainly north and east. And what happens is you can see the area of low pressure is now kind of down to our south and east. So we're on the back side of that, the flow around that kind of pushing all of this down to the south. So we're dry Tuesday morning for the most part. Now what you'll notice here as we go into Tuesday around midday, we're seeing some isolated showers and maybe even some thunderstorms developing here east. Now there still is a slight chance we could see some activity here out towards places like Siskiyou County, even slimmer chances out towards, say, northern Trinity County. But overall, I expect drier conditions for most of us west of the eastern mountains and Modoc County through the day on Tuesday. All right, so for your Mother's Day, this is the best chance of where we're seeing rain here this afternoon into the evening. Everyone else should be dry, and will be dry for everyone through the morning hours as well today. But then it all pushes eastward. And these numbers, don't take them to be exact, but it just really gives us a general idea. I think the valley can see anywhere from a few hundredths to maybe even over a quarter of an inch of rainfall. For areas that see those thunderstorms, you're going to be looking at the potential of heavy downpours for a short period of time, and that can really accumulate pretty quickly. So yeah, I mean, I'd say a quarter of an inch, maybe a little more in some spots here for the valley, but on average, a few hundredths to a tenth to a quarter of an inch. Now, where most of it will be, I think, is going to be in Del Norte County, because that's where it starts and that's where it will be the longest. We might even exceed an inch. See the yellows there? That's approaching even 1 to even 2 inches. So I think that's where we're going to see most of the rainfall. But we also have a little spot right here, north and east of the valley, that could see some decent amounts of rainfall out of this as well. So bottom line, thunderstorms are going to create some heavy downpours at times, and I think where we can see a lot more of that will be in the foothills and the mountains. Thunderstorms are a potential in the valley, but I don't think we're going to see as much rain there. And check this out. Here we are in May, and I'm taking a look at the snow totals, and yes, that's in there. As I mentioned, 4,000 feet for places like Trinity County, Siskiyou County. So Mount Shasta, Weaverville, Hayfork, you're not going to see snow. But you know, you don't go too much higher than Mount Shasta City. You could start seeing some snowflakes. Accumulating snow probably above 5,000 feet. But I do think, you know, you see some snowflakes around Alturas, out towards Chester, Quincy, Portola, Susanville. Upper Shingletown around Viola, I think you can see some snowflakes. Maybe not accumulating on the highway there, but it's close. Out towards Bernie, I don't think you'll see snowflakes, but you don't have to go too much higher than Bernie before you do start maybe seeing the potential for snowflakes. So yeah. Here we are, you know, almost mid-May, and we're talking about snow. It's not terribly unusual. This is certainly a cold storm system that's moving in colder than we typically see. So you can see as we go through the afternoon, you see how it is, see how most of it's here. This is where I think the best chances for showers and even some thunderstorms will be for your Tuesday afternoon. And then by Tuesday night into Wednesday, we dry things out. So it should be a dry day for your Wednesday, just some clouds in the higher elevations. Plenty of sunshine, it looks like here for the valley, although maybe some late afternoon clouds coming in Wednesday afternoon and maybe some clouds along the coast. But we're drying things out for the most part for your Wednesday, Thursday, even Friday. But I've got my eyes on another storm system. And this, you know, the long-range forecast model is in decent agreement that sometime around Friday, Saturday, we're going to see this push through. Now that is going to bring us the potential for some showers as early as Friday. I think more like Saturday and maybe even Sunday. But another thing that this will do is maybe with this area of low pressure here, it's a bit of an inside slider. That could bring us the potential for some gusty winds too. Speaking of the winds here, let's take a look at your Mother's Day winds. They're picking up here midday. We're over 20 miles per hour in the valley, still over 20 miles per hour for the coast, over 30 miles per hour off into the eastern mountains. Take you into Sunday this afternoon, pretty gusty, 20, even close to 30 miles per hour, maybe even higher in some spots here. Looks like some slightly stronger winds in the eastern mountains. And look at the coast. I mean, you're up to 20, 30, 35 miles per hour, and even parts of Siskiyou County in the 20 to 25 mile an hour range. The winds do subside for Monday morning, still a little breezy for the east side of the valley and eastern mountains. And you can see it's still a bit breezy here even for your Monday afternoon. Looking at those winds kind of picking up again in the afternoon hours. But Tuesday through midday, the winds should be significantly calmer. All right, let's talk about the temperatures and the roller coaster ride with the temperatures. This is the warmer air that we've seen over the last few days with temperatures in the low 90s in the valley. This right here is the cooler air that's coming in. This is that colder air that's going to be the source for those lower snow levels I was talking about. That's for Monday. That shifts down to our southeast by the time we get into Tuesday. Still a little breezy, but then that scoots on out of here. Now, high pressure is going to try to build in through next week, and you can see this warmer air just kind of bleeding into Northern California. That's where highs in the valley will be in the mid-80s on average, but we have another pocket of cooler air. Now, it's not going to move directly over us. It looks like it's going to have more of what we call that inside slider type of characteristic. So what that will do is, number one, it'll help to drop our temperatures down slightly as we go into the second half of the weekend, but with low pressure here, the inside sliders are pretty typical that we see those winds begin to pick up. So next weekend, it could be another wind event, mainly showers in the higher elevations. I don't think we're going to see anything in the valley at this point. Taking a look at your 10-day trend, so yes, we've got that big drop going into Monday, even starting today after the low 90s in the valley, ticking back upward. But we'll level out in the mid-80s for Thursday, Friday, even Saturday, Sunday, before we tick back up maybe in the low 90s as we go into that next week. So yes, temperature is eventually warming up, but it's going to be slow to get there. Looking at our lake levels, still very healthy. We did see a drop here at Lake Shasta, but an increase for Trinity Lake and Lake Oroville. But you can see 96% capacity, 98% capacity for Lake Oroville. They're going to have to start releasing more water from the lake, because you can't get over it, because then it's going to overflow, right? So you got to watch that. There's a look at the fire weather risk for today. Look at the humidity levels. With the south winds, humidity typically doesn't lower a whole lot with the south winds, but that's not the case with today. We could get down to 6, 10, 15%. That's low. That is dry. That is going to increase the fire danger. You see the oranges here? That's getting in the moderate to high range here. So you need to be mindful of these winds, and even though they're south winds, it's still quite dry out there. We're starting to see more fuels out there, folks. If you've been going on any hikes lately, you'll notice that yes, there still is some green out there, but there's also a lot of brown, a lot of dry grasses and brushes out there at this point. The good news is by Monday, we are seeing those humidity levels increasing a bit, so that should certainly help. But looking at the fire potential today, we're starting to see more and more of these yellows. You know, the last several weeks and months, it's been all green here, indicating little to no risk. But now we're elevating that risk here for today with that yellow here indicating low risk. So again, it's that low to, really quite honestly, we're kind of in that borderline low to even moderate risk here, because again, those winds are pretty strong and it's quite dry. The wave heights should be increasing here for today. They'll increase even more as we take you through the day on Monday. As a result, the National Weather Service has issued a small craft advisory, but that won't take effect until later this afternoon. But the winds will eventually be from the south at 15 to 20 knots, your waves from the west at 4 feet at 9 seconds, and from the southwest at 1 foot at 14 seconds. All right, let's take a look at your forecast here. I push the button. Sometimes I push the button, it just is delay. And I try so hard to remember what map is next, but sometimes it's like, what's going on next? All right. It's Sunday. I'm working on a weekend. Let's see what we can do here. All right, temperatures upper 60s to around 70. There you got the dry conditions for your Mother's Day in Trinity County. But for Monday, yes, showers, thunderstorms, snow levels, yes, 4,000 feet. So Scott Mountain, I think, could see some snow. Probably won't create any problems as far as travel, but just be aware that you may run into some slick roads up on the summit of Scott Mountain. And then we go into Tuesday, Wednesday, see temperatures start to slowly increase, and then maybe another chance for showers by next weekend. You take a look at the coast, yeah, by late this afternoon, evening, maybe some showers even for southern Humboldt County, showers and possible thunderstorms even for the coast here on Monday. It's dry for Tuesday through Friday, another chance for showers on Saturday. Up north, 57 degrees for Smith River. I think by early to mid-afternoon, we start to see some showers begin to kind of move on in here, especially for Del Norte County, or Crescent City, Gas Key, Smith River, for example. The farther south you go, early afternoon, the slimmer the chances. But again, by late afternoon, those showers kick in for everybody for Del Norte and Humboldt counties. All right, for Siskiyou County, I think for the most part, you're dry today. It's tomorrow, tonight and tomorrow, you're seeing the showers and thunderstorms. Maybe a chance for some showers and thunderstorms again Tuesday. And then Wednesday through Friday, you're dry. Maybe another chance for showers by Saturday. Modoc County, you're dry today as well for your Mother's Day. Showers and thunderstorms tomorrow. Maybe a chance for more showers, thunderstorms Tuesday before we dry it out and warm back up as we go through next week. 65 in Chester, 72 degrees for Paradise today, 66 in Shingletown, dry today, snow levels 5,000 feet. So as you go above 5,000 feet, I think some of the highest mountain passes could quite possibly see some chain requirements. Temperatures are going to be in the low 80s for your daytime highs. Yes, very pleasant here for your Mother's Day. Just note that it will be breezy, borderline windy later this afternoon. Showers and thunderstorms in Chico with temperatures mid-60s on Monday. Warming back up slowly, but not that bad. Mid to upper 80s for Thursday, Friday. And another slight dip in those temperatures comes Saturday. I'll take it. Taking a look at up to the north, about 81 degrees for Anderson down to Red Bluff, 80 in Palisadro and Redding, 71 degrees out in Lakehead and Whiskeytown, about 73 degrees. All right, taking a look at your 7-day forecast for Redding. You can see, looking at the chance for showers and thunderstorms here for your Monday, dry for your Mother's Day, but a bit breezy, borderline windy later this afternoon. Temperatures back up in the mid-70s, very pleasant for your Tuesday, but dry. Low 80s Wednesday, mid to upper 80s Thursday, Friday, and a slight drop in the temperatures on Saturday. That is your morning update. I'll be back again at noon. Have yourselves a great morning.
Barr & Mudford is a top established firm here in the North State. Founded over a half-century ago, Barr & Mudford is protecting the rights of our neighbors and community. We take our commitment to our clients very seriously and provide a level of excellence unrivaled in the North State. Barr & Mudford, standing up for the rights of our neighbors and our beautiful community, serving Northern California with excellence.